Last season, Liverpool fell down to 5th position in the Premier League. They were in dire need of a rebuild. 2 years prior, they were at the very top of the Premier League, challenging Manchester City to the last day of the season. But last season, they fell down to mid-table. It wasn't a good year. They were getting down in the transition. They've got an ageing midfield, and they've already started to replace them with Alexis McAllister, with Dominic Szoboszlai. And today, we're going to be taking it to the next level. Hopefully, we can rebuild Liverpool back to winning titles and potentially to even get them their very first treble. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The rebuild of Liverpool. What's going on there, guys? Kenby here, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another rebuild from myself. And today, it is my arch rivals. It is Liverpool, but we're going to put any rivalry to the side because today we need to get Liverpool back to the top of the Premier League table and challenging for trophies again, potentially winning Champions League. And the biggest thing for me is the midfield. They are very slow on the transition. Liverpool have already in real life started to fix that. The signing of Dominic Szoboszlai, I think, is a fantastic signing. A very good, young, progressive midfielder who is going to be, I think, amazing in the Premier League. As much as it hurts me to say, I think he is a top signing and really is going to be amazing for Liverpool going forward. And they've signed already the partner for him. Next to him is going to be Alexis McAllister, signed for a bargain fee of £38 million from Brighton. This guy, Premier League experience already, absolutely smashed it at Brighton for 3-4 years from 2018 onwards, and is now ready for a big club, and he's moved to Liverpool, and a fantastic signing for them as well. In this rebuild, I have managed to still keep hold of Fabinho. Now, in real life, before simming this, it wasn't like he was going anywhere. It now looks like he's off to Saudi. So after season 1, the rumours start to come out in real life, and I sold him. So Fabinho is here for this first season, but after this season, he is gone. One person that is certainly gone is Jordan Henderson. Now, we've made a few outgoings. Again, we've tried to keep it as realistic as possible. Jordan Henderson out the door, has not gone to Saudi because Saudi clubs don't come in for players on FM, but he's gone to AC Milan for £2.5 million. I didn't get any value. It probably shows how outrageous it is that he's probably going to get 10, 15, 20 million from Saudi. But yeah, we've got rid of him for £2.5 million. And the other outgoings, there was none. And to be honest, I didn't make any other signings. The tactic itself is very, very good. And we've tested it with this team already. Klopp's 4-3-3. The video came out yesterday. The tactic is a banger. And I think if I was to progress too much in terms of transfers, you know, we've only got £20 million to spend. But if I was to go too mega on transfers, this rebuild would be very, very easy. So I'm trying to keep it as realistic as possible. And for this team as well, the tactic is a 4-3-3. It's a Klopp system. It's high press. It's attacking. We're going to start off by going through the tactic. It's a sweeper keeper on support, in goal with tackle harder. We've got Trent, who is hopefully going to be a mainstay in this team for the next 4, 5, 6, however long it takes to win a treble. An inverted wing back on attack with no further instructions. Andy Robertson at left back with stay wider on wing back on support. The left-sided ball-playing defender has got no further instructions. The right-sided has got stay wider on him. And that stay wider is to hopefully just cover off the right-back position a little bit, because we know how good Trent is going forward. The defensive side is a little bit to be lacked, but especially as an inverted wing-back on attack, he's going to be all over the place. So Matip is going to hopefully cover off that right-handed side of the defence as well. Fabinho, like I said, is going to stay in the team for this season, a ball-winning midfielder on defender. But Zala on support on the right-hand side and run wide with ball, close down more and tackle harder. With Dominic Szoboszlai in left centre middle, close down more and tackle harder. An inverted winger on attack on the left-hand side, sit narrower, tackle harder. And inside forward on attack on the right-hand side, sit narrower, tackle harder. And a complete forward on support with pass shorter and tackle harder. The mentality is set to positive in possession with passing into space, playing out of defence, low crosses, run defence, higher tempo, fairly narrow, in transition, take short kicks, distribute quickly, counter and counter press, and out of positions, a high press system, a standard defensive line, triggering the press much more often, getting stuck in and preventing the short goal distribution. And I'm aware that Liverpool do also play with a higher line. I think because of the aging sort of side of their defence, and with Trent being so attacking, to progress, they really need to drop that down to a standard defensive line, get a younger DM in, and they've already, massively energised the midfield. Liverpool last season, their biggest problem for me was on the transition. I think just dropping that line to being a standard line, not being so confident in the back line's pace, is going to be key for them to move on to the next step. We're obviously in the Europa League this season. It'll be quite good to win that one, tick it off nice and early. The FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League, we'll have to see what we're going to go ahead and do. But let's get into it without any further ado. Season number 1, Liverpool's rebuild. How far can we take them? Stay strapped in because it's about to get absolutely crazy. And before silly season does start, I just want to thank you guys massively for the support on the channel recently. You can tell the PC is here. We've got the brand new PC locked in, which means there's player faces. So hopefully you guys are happy with that as well. I've done a whole new sort of revamp of FM, so we should be at the very top of our game. Thank you for the support on Patreon recently. It's been absolutely mental. And obviously the support as well on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube second account. You guys are smashing it. So I'm so thankful to every single one of you. Now, I warned you, things were going to get pretty mental for this season. We're going to start off a 4-1 victory against Ajax in the Europa League final. Now, these are the results from the tactic test that I've done. If you guys have seen about the Aston Villa rebuild, my save files got corrupted. So when I simmed the Klopp tactic, it was on the old PC. So the results from this are the same as the tactic if you saw that yesterday. But we'll go through them because some guys don't watch the tactics. You're here for the rebuilds, and I love you guys because you guys are literally making my dreams come true. These rebuilds are what I love doing. Now, back to the Europa League final. 4-1. Ajax lost, got absolutely battered. A Cody Gakpo hat-trick and Ibrahima Konate goal led us to a Europa League final. Now, you also know we won the FA Cup, a 2-0 victory against Brentford, a Cody Gakpo brace. He was fantastic this season, 26 goals and 12 assists in 23 starts and 21 off the bench. We do know Liverpool have got a fantastic sort of attacking depth. You know, you've got Salah, Jota, Nunes, Gakpo, Harvey Elliott is fantastic on FM. And speaking of one of them, Mo Salah, a 2-0 victory against Tottenham in the Carabao Cup final. I can still banter Spurs, no trophies, which is hilarious, other than Harry Kane completing hot wings. A little bit of topical banter for you there. But we have won the 3 trophies and we've also won the Premier League. So we've won a sort of treble. We've won the English treble, winning the FA Cup, Carabao Cup and the Premier League. And we've also won the Europa League as well. But we're here for the proper treble. Now, this tactic is very good. And like I said, I do want to go wild on transfers because I know how good the tactic is. It is an absolute banger. And I think it's, you know, a real hats off to sort of the way Klopp plays. Really does suit Football Manager down to an absolute T. Darwin Nunes in this career, in this save, 40 goals and 9 assists in 39 appearances. Now, if you remember, he was a complete forward on support, and it probably shows as well how good this Liverpool side is. I'm not going to show any highlights of this first season. Again, them highlights are in the tactic video. We'll show highlights going forward, but for this first season, you guys have seen them already, and the way we score goals is the midfield is so aggressive and so high pressing. The back line sits quite high up, and Darwin Nunes is on that last man every single time, and that's how Cody Gakpo has scored a lot of his goals as well, as the understudy to Darwin Nunes. But very good season for him. Mo Salah, 36 goals and 17 assists, equally as impressive. Cody Gakpo, 26 goals, 12 assists, unbelievable season. Diego Jota, 22 goals and 7 assists. Luis Diaz with 12 and 7. You know, people forgive. I don't even think I named Luis Diaz when talking about the attackers of Liverpool. Absolute baller. Dominic Szoboszlai in his first season in the Premier League, 10 goals and 11 assists. And like I say, that is playing him as a centre midfielder on attack. He's an absolute machine. He's 6'1". He's, you know, fantastic at free kicks, corners, flair, technique, passing, dribbling, finishing. Unbelievable player and a fantastic signing for Liverpool. Ibrahima Konate at the back did bits as well, 7 goals, 3 assists. Harvey Elliott, I did mention, I'm going to have to mention him. Now, this guy's talent in real life is unquestioned. I have never used him on FM until this save because I'm a little bit biased. I'd rather go out and get Garnacho, of course I would. But I cannot believe how good this guy turns out. He is going to literally be one of the best players in this Liverpool side by the end of this rebuild. 22 years of age, unbelievable determination, vision, work rate, technique, passing, first touch, dribbling. I mean, you look at these stats, they are unbelievable. I mean, just to compare him, he is obviously not Mo Salah, but he is fantastic. And, you know, is better than him in some things, slightly lacking. But you think Salah is literally a Liverpool legend. He is fantastic on this year's game. And Alexis McAllister as well, a very, very decent first season, 5 goals and 15 assists, a decent signing. And the last man we're going to talk about in depth is Trent Alexander-Arnold, 25 assists from that right back role, inverted wing back on attack. It suits him down to an absolute T, and he had a fantastic season as well. So very excited with how the first season went. All 4 trophies won, looking to get a Premier League trophy up next. We've got £148 million in the bank to go ahead and improve this side. There is a few aging players. There's a few players that are going to leave. Like I said, Fabinho is going to leave this summer, as you know, while that sin was going forward. The rumours have come out, and as I record this today, he's not included in their tour squad. So Fabinho, he's gone, son. So we're going to have to replace the DM, possibly another winger. Jota might be leaving as well. So we've got a few players in here. I do want to see what Stefan Bajetic turns into as well. Fantastic talent on the young DM. We have got a very strong team already. So maybe we're going to find sort of a backup DM and have him and Bajetic rotating together. It'll be interesting to see what we can bring in with that, monumental money of 150 million. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let's make some signings. Let's see what we can do for season number 2. Start off then with the outgoings of the club. Fabinho has not gone to Saudi Arabia. He has gone to Manchester City, and we've strengthened them even further. And I wasn't too unhappy about doing this because this tactic is outrageous. This Liverpool team is outrageous, and why not try and make people a little bit stronger to try and compete with us? But he seems to have had a very good season over there, playing 50 games overall. We know how good Fabinho is. We'll see what he can do at Manchester City. Very, good sale, £36.5 million in the back door. Very impressed with that. The next sale is Joe Gomez. We managed to get £50 million for him as well. 18 starts, 15 off the bench for Real Madrid. Going into a team with David Alaba, Eder Militao. I don't know how much game time he's going to get, but improves that team even more than they already are. They are outrageous in real life, and Joe Gomez helps that even more. And they've also taken Diogo Jota off us. What on earth? Real Madrid have just got stupid money, and they've signed him for 61 million, and he played 9 starts all season. Real Madrid are just outrageous on this game, and I'll take the 61 million for Diogo Jota because we'll be able to invest that in new young players. And that new young player is Romeo Lavia. Unbelievable player in real life. Had a fantastic first season in the Premier League with Southampton last season. Potential on FM is to be questioned. He's certainly got more potential than that. Unbelievable player. And it's again heavily linked with Liverpool in real life. There's talk today they're interested in Caicedo, but mainly concentrating on Romeo Lavia. I think it's the more realistic signing. If they get Fabinho and Henderson out the door for the prices they're looking to get as well, it'll pretty much pay for Lavia. And I think that's a fantastic upgrade for Liverpool. That sort of transitional speed that I was speaking about, he certainly matches up with that with 16 acceleration and 15 pace. Great teamwork, work rate, determination, anticipation, all the things you want in a DM, and at such a young age as well, I think is an absolutely fantastic signing. Another young player they were heavily linked with is Levi Colwill from Chelsea. Now I brought him in on loan because Chelsea want 170 million for him. He played 7 games, 20 off the bench, and I think I'll try and get him in permanently. But Levi Colwill is just very expensive on FM, and they realise his potential. They realise how good he is. And it's going to be difficult to get him out of Chelsea, but we'll see if we can make anything of him. We brought him on loan for £1.7 million. He's a very good backup centre-back signing. I'm very happy to get him in as well, because again, going for full realism, I brought him in. And a centre-back as well, to compete with him, to compete with Van Dijk, Konate. I think Joel Matip has left the club. Ousmane Diomande is the man I've brought in. Now, he's a fantastic young talent from Sporting. £27.5 million is what we paid for him. And he played a hell of a lot of games. 39 starts, great acceleration and pace, great strength, stamina, great aggression, anticipation. Again, really suits that high press centre-back Liverpool style of play, which I was talking about. And I'm very happy to get the signing in of Ousmane Diomande. And again, a very realistic signing in my opinion. And another one very realistic is Ryan Gravenberch. Now, this guy was heavily linked last summer, and I think he's a little bit linked this summer. Things have gone a little bit cold in him because he's not played the greatest for Bayern Munich. And even in this sort of save file, he's not been unbelievable there. But we brought him to the Premier League, and he played 34 games, scored 10 goals, and got 8 assists, which is a fantastic season for a centre midfielder. Him and Dominic Szoboszlai, think of the height in that midfield of Romeo Lavia in DM. That is a great midfield, and that straight away is the revamp that Liverpool need. You know, going from Fabinho, Henderson and Thiago to Lavia, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister. That's quite some upgrade. I'm very happy to get him in as well. He looks fantastic on this year's game. After you give him a little bit of, love and care, he looks brilliant. And another signing I brought in, again, going for that sort of younger approach, is Amar Dedic. Now, he's been brought in to be a backup to Trent and also potentially a future player who replaces Robertson on the left-hand side. Very good either feet, good at crossing, dribbling, first touch, pressing, quick, determined, runs down the ball with the left, so possibly going to replace Trent Robbo before anyone gets forward whenever possible, knocks the ball past the opponent. Great for the attacking left back. And the signings we've made have progressed us to a fantastic season this season. We've not won a treble, as though there is lots of trophies on the screen. We have not managed to win a treble. We won the Premier League with our best points tally yet on 97 points. Erling Haaland scored 47 goals but couldn't pip us to the post. Salah scoring just 24, Harvey Elliott with 13 assists, another unbelievable signing. And like I said, he's already progressing to be one of the best players in this Liverpool side, and we're only in season number 2. Club World Championship we've got this year. Champions League will be Arsenal in the final on penalties, which I'm very, very happy with. It was an Ousmane Diomande goal to get us off the mark. Kai Havertz scoring for Arsenal, but eventually we reigned supreme in penalties. We lifted another Champions League trophy for Liverpool. FA Cup, we were third, rounded by Swansea. 5th place in the Championship and predicted to come down in 16th. They've just stopped our treble dream in season number 2, but Man City couldn't stop us from winning the Carabao Cup as well. So again, we've won a sort of treble, 7 trophies in 2 seasons, a 3-1 victory in that game. Again, very, very impressive. We didn't win the Community Shield, we didn't win the UEFA Super Cup, so 2 trophies to certainly try and sort of tick off. Salah with 34 goals, Nunez with 29, Gakpo 24, Gravenberch with 10. Assists come from everywhere, 22 assists overall from Harvey Elliott is extremely impressive. And again, Trent getting 16 assists and 6 goals, looking like an unbelievable right back. And again, this summer we've got outrageous amounts of money, £196 million to spend. They've already tried to bring in a young player in Fabiano, see what he can do. Development centre wise, there is a few good young players starting to come through the academy, but nothing really to note as of yet. I mean, there's a few players that I know Liverpool fans would want me to use in Ben Doak, wherever he has gone. I've lost Ben Doak. He is there. He looks very good on this game. Don't get me wrong, 18 determination, great speed, crossing, dribbling, but probably not going to break in to the Liverpool side in this rebuild. But a special shout out to him because he's a very talented young man. But yeah, season number 2, very successful. We have not won our treble yet, and surely we can win it in season 3 with £200 million to spend. An unbelievable side. Let's see, season 3, can we make it happen? Well, because we had such outrageous money, I massively overpaid for Levy Colville to get him into this Liverpool side. I paid £105 million for him. Ignore the transfer fee. He's not played too many games and really has not taken to an absolute storm as we thought he might have done. And for £105 million, that certainly does hurt. We had £200 million to spend. I just wanted to bring him in for the realism factor again. He played 9 games, 18 off the bench. He's certainly a very good sort of young, good progressive backup centre-back and can progressively, you know, potentially overtake Van Dijk in this rebuild at some point, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. We signed another player who was fantastic, amazing, great at a young age as well. It's Youssoufa Moukoko, now 22 years of age, played just 7 games, 25 on the bench as the backup to Darwin Nunez. And again, great dribbling, finishing, first touch, flair, acceleration, pace, technique, fantastic sign. And we paid for him £50 million, which I didn't think was too bad. Already a value of £108 million. And already we've spent pretty much all of our budget on just 2 fantastic young players. So the last signing I brought in was someone to replace Andy Robertson at left back, and that is Owen Windau. Robertson now obviously getting on a little bit. This is 3 years down the line, so he's aged even more. I say even more like he's an old man, but he's still a fantastic left back. But Owen Windau is of a fantastic quality and has moved to Barcelona in this save, and has now come to Liverpool, extremely consistent, loves a big match, 30 appearances this season, 2 goals and 4 assists, 6.93 average rating. Not a bad season at all, but again, not the greatest of seasons, that is for sure. In terms of outgoings, we didn't really sell anyone massive. Fabio Carvalho left the club to go to Crystal Palace for £16.5 million. Hasn't really progressed from his loan spell at RB Leipzig. Didn't really do much last season. Again, is now at Crystal Palace sort of as an average midfielder. And Kostas Tsimikas as well has had the club to go to Aston Villa, and that was sort of paved the way for Owen Windau. We managed to get a decent chunk of change, £20 million for him as well, so happy to see that one out of the door. You're wondering, how did this season go? A few little improvements, some young players brought in, but how did season 3 go in terms of results? Everton won the Premier League. I think that shows what an anomaly season this was. Boulaye Dia was their striker who led them to 82 points and a Premier League trophy in season number 3. Meaning we haven't won the treble, but I'm just more absolutely gobsmacked that Wayne Rooney, as the gaffer, has pulled Everton to a Premier League trophy. These rebuilds do sometimes get a little bit wild and wacky, but once you're at the start, this one was very much like that as well. When Everton winning the Premier League trophy is not something I thought was going to happen in today's rebuild, but here we are, living in a world where Everton are Premier League champions. Now, did we win anything else? No, we didn't. A very tough season in season number 3. I think it's becoming with a little bit of an ageing squad. Obviously, Van Dijk is now sort of mid-30s. Salah the same. Alisson the same. Maybe it's time to fully rebuild and move away from such a strong core that Liverpool have got in real life. Champions League were round of 16 by Chelsea. It was 3-0 on aggregate, so we got absolutely smashed in that one. Chelsea coming in 7th as well. FA Cup, lost to Crystal Palace and Fabio Carvalho. Fantastic. And in Carabao Cup as well, 3rd rounded by Fulham. Fantastic. We did win the Super Cup. We didn't win the Community Shield, which has been good to just tick that one off as well. But we are now just a Community Shield and a treble away from completing the rebuild. Very happy sort of with what we've got. We've got £208 million to spend. The finances are looking extremely strong. I mean, a team of Liverpool's quality has got such great financial pull that they can pretty much just print money. £467 million in the bank balance this season. In terms of output, Salah dropped right down to 15 goals and 7 assists. Gakpo was 17 and 10. Darwin Núñez 33 and 9. 16 assists from Harvey Elliott. 8 goals, 11 assists from McAllister. 7 and 10 from Szoboszlai. 6 and 11 from Trent. And overall, just a worse season than we've had so far. Even on the data hub, you can really tell we dropped off massively this season. So we're going to have to pick things up for season number 4. It's a big season. What can we do? Can we lift ourselves back up to potential treble winning sides? We've got a lot of money to spend, a lot of players to get rid of. It's going to be a tough season. So season 4, let's get right into it. Virgil van Dijk has left the club. He's gone to AC Milan for just £4.8 million. A 36-year-old Van Dijk is out of the club. Another player that has joined him leaving the club is Mohamed Salah for £7.5 million. Both of them Liverpool legends in their own right. Both of them having to leave the club so we can move on and hopefully progress into being an even better side than we already were. And a signing we've made to start things off is Martin Baturina, Croatian midfielder, a value of £100 million. He's been at Bayern Munich for a season, absolutely killed it. Coming here at Liverpool to be another rotational midfielder, 4-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, 30 games, 9 goals, 4 assists. Already a fantastic midfield signing for just £30 million. A winger to come in and replace Mohamed Salah. Is it Yeremy Pino? Is it Angelo? No, it's Tales Magno, a very different player to come in and sort of try and fill the boots of such an influential player. It's 14 goals, 10 assists in 26 appearances, 28 off the bench, extremely consistent and has progressed better than I've ever seen him before on Football Manager. He's extremely talented in real life, playing in New York City FC. Has been to Flamengo in this save as well, but now moves to Liverpool as the number 7. So a lofty old shirt on his back, but we'll see what Tales Magno can get for us. And a signing again I've made, a Croatian theme coming along here, is Josko Gvardiol. Now, he is heavily linked to Manchester City in real life. I'm fully aware of that, but I had to bring in a fantastic centre-back. And 4 seasons in, he was still at Leipzig. And if that was the case in real life, then Liverpool would certainly be going in for him. A left-footed centre-back who's as good as Josko Gvardiol is, very consistent, loves a big match. 3 goals, 3 assists in 50 appearances with a 7.02 average rating. Another unbelievable signing at not too expensive. And then we brought in 4 players here who are here for youth reason. We've got Damon, CB, Enzo Brito, Christian and Rodrigo Palmer. 4 players that are going to be in the youth academy and seeing what they can do. I mean, the youth academy is looking better now than when we started. We got 4 5-star players in here. We got a few 5-star players down in the under-18s as well. So we're certainly progressing the club up to a very high standard. But the question is, how are we actually doing in terms of competitions? Have we finally won the treble? Yes, we have. We won the Premier League on 88 points. A very good season. 28 goals, 4 draws and 6 losses. The Champions League, a 2-1 victory against Real Madrid in the final. Harvey Elliott and Tales Magno scoring the goals before Harry Kane scored in the 94th minute for Real Madrid to, make it a little bit close towards the end, but we hold on to a Champions League trophy. And the FA Cup, well, a 4-1 victory against Crystal Palace from Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo, Yusuf Moukoko and Harvey Elliott really shone how good this Liverpool team has become. We didn't win the Carabao Cup to complete a full-on quadruple like the first season, but instead of the Europa League, the Champions League, that would have been fantastic. But we did manage to win everything else, and I'm very excited with that. And just to show you as well, because I've touched him a few times in this video, Harvey Elliott, I genuinely have not used him in this year's FM, and I cannot believe how good he can become. 13 goals and 16 assists playing as a centre mid or as a right wing has been absolutely outrageous. Darwin Núñez, 44 goals. Moukoko, 15. Manyo, 14 and 10. Szoboszlai, 14 and 17. Just look how he can progress Liverpool fans. He is an outrageous signing in real life, and I'm, not excited to see how well he's going to do, because he's probably going to score an absolute worldie against United, but I can respect a very good signing when I see one, and that is one of them. Harvey Elliott, great player. Cody Gakpo, 12 and 16. Curtis Jones, who we actually haven't touched on at all in this rebuild and doesn't progress quite as well as Harvey Elliott, is still unbelievably good. 4-star credibility, 4-star potential ability, 12 goals and 15 assists. 27 years of age now, Curtis Jones, still a very influential player in this Liverpool side. Luis Diaz, a complete backup now, 9 and 5. Butcherina, 9 and 4. 13 assists for Trent as well, who's progressed into an unbelievable right back, can now even play in midfield if you want to push him up to there. So this TAFE file is available for you guys to download in the Patreon, as I said earlier. So feel free to head down there and get this one in the description. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next time.